Good morning. Welcome to Thursday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well. And those of you who have a connection to the Saints for Lost Things, will you put out a call for my dad's keys? We've been hunting everywhere, and I'm sure they're going to be located in a stupid place, because it's just how this stuff goes. The other day, I found a poster that I had been looking for since I got back from Iceland in a folder of grant applications. How it got in there, I have no clue, but that's where it was. So, things are out there in unusual places. We, again, have the Native Spirit deck today. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, good morning. You're the first one popping on today. Glad to have you. So, Native Spirit deck, and that would indicate that there are actually two of you on here because someone just gave you a thumbs up and it wasn't me. So, welcome to whomever else is here. I love how the universe kind of gets on a roll with various card decks, and they're the ones that keep popping up for a chunk of time, and then it's like, okay, I'm done with that deck, let's move on to something else. So, Native Spirit deck, Denise Lynn. And when I pulled the card, I thought, this seems a little off from our message. But as I read the narrative, it fits right in with what we've been talking about. So we'll get to that in a moment, but let us start as always with our tapping. You can pick a spot. I happen to like this one. Good morning, Jonille. I wondered if it was you lurking in the dark there. So let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just keep it going. Nice deep breaths, filling up your lungs, then releasing it. Seeing if each inhale can be a little bit deeper, and then each exhale deeper than that, which sets up the next inhale to be deeper. Just clearing everything out, all the old stale air, making space for today's message. One more in and out. Hopefully you're feeling kind of energized from the tapping and a little bit cleared out. Good morning, Janine. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad to have you here. So we have the Native Spirit deck from Denise Lynn. We're on a roll the last couple of days with this. Owl medicine. Owl medicine. And I've always thought that a barn owl's face looks like a heart. So there we are. We get a little love in there too. Owl medicine. Let's see what it says. Card meaning: wisdom, illumination, intuition, clairvoyance, and deep insight abound. Go within. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. Is this not the same message we've been getting over and over and over again? Good morning, Abigail. Glad you're here. So, actually, I'm going to heed this message. I'm supposed to go to a meeting from 1 to 3 today. And I think I'm done with meetings for the week. I think I've had enough. So, I'm going to do some inward stuff. I'm not sure if I'll go to the park. I'm not sure if I'm going to do I'll definitely do some breath work. But it's just time for some me time. Go within. Profound majesty and grace are available to you simply by pulling your awareness inward. And Jonille, your name just rolled again, so there's something in here for you. Ancient knowledge is emerging within you. You know the truth. Trust your perception. And this message is fitting beautifully with the message from Bringers of the Dawn, where she's talking about we have much more access to knowledge and wisdom and universal tools than we think we do, and to open ourselves up to receive that is going to, good morning, Renee, glad you're here, welcome, is going to set us up to do that leap into higher dimensions, moving off the third dimension and moving into more rarefied energy space, better vibration, capable of much more. right? You know the truth. Trust your perception. You are a truth seeker and a truth sharer. And for those of us who are truth sharers, you may find that sometimes that's difficult and painful because there's people who la 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 don't want to hear the truth. Good morning, Tira. Welcome. We have owl medicine today. Even if others don't want to hear the truth, you may still be a person who needs to speak the truth. You can do it as kindly and lovingly as possible, but sometimes the truth still needs to be spoken, even if the recipient of that truth doesn't want to hear it. Doesn't want to hear it. Let's see. Nurture the feminine spirit within. Again, we're swinging back from the far end of the masculine continuum to a place where we can tap both our divine masculine and our divine feminine. They're different kinds of strengths. We want to have access to both. It can be the helper and the one receiving. It can be the doer and the being. So we want to be, it's an and. That is a huge characteristics of the time we're moving into. It's no longer about either or. It's about and multiple ands. So it's not black and or white. It's black and white and color and paisley and rainbow and, right? And beige. We'll put beige in there too. What the heck, right? Nurture the feminine spirit within you. Your native spirit wants you to know. In some indigenous cultures, the men say that they're afraid of the owl because it represents the power of woman, and they're in awe of and even afraid of the power of women. We've certainly seen that over millennia, haven't we? Squelching of feminine energy, whether it's coming from man, from woman, from other, it doesn't matter. That feminine, that divine feminine energy has been really squelched. There were points in time back prehistory where that feminine energy was valued. Good morning, Beth. Glad you're here. And lifted up as a good thing. We're aiming back for that. We're going in that direction. Yes, the truth can be ugly, but necessary, because when you will allow the truth, then you open the door to change. If it is ugly, if you don't like what you see, you acknowledging it then opens the door for change. Other native cultures call the owl the night eagle, for it has the majesty of the eagle, but works silently in the darkness of night. Silently in the darkness of night. There are many, many, many beings right now working silently in the darkness, bringing the light, bringing the light. When this card chooses you, you are at the advent of a time of illumination and transformation. The old saw, it's always darkest before the dawn, popped into my head recently. Excuse me. And I think that's very apropos for where we're at. So the dawn is coming. The dawn is coming. It's a natural progression from where we're at. The journey. So let's do a little bit of this right now. If you're not driving, close your eyes, get a little comfortable, take a nice deep breath. And I want you to imagine a beautiful forest. Very tall trees. Some are deciduous, some are conifers, just beautiful, beautiful tall trees. And it's night, and the moon is full, shining brightly through the trees. And you notice that you're parked near the top of a tree. It can be whatever kind of tree you like. And you look down and you see that you actually have talons. You've metamorphosed into an owl. So I'd like you to just sit there on that branch, blinking those big golden eyes of yours, and look around. Survey that forest. What do you notice? You now have eyes that see differently than your human eyes do. Look around and notice what you see. It's almost like using night vision goggles, if any of you have ever used those. Everything is now visible. What was formerly hidden in the dark is now visible. Being that observer. And then when you're ready, I'd like you to open those wings and lift off of that branch and soar into the sky. And to begin, start high above that beautiful forest. And notice what you can see from well above the trees. Another perspective. There was the perspective you have with your human eyes. There's the perspective you had on that tree branch as the owl. And now there's the perspective from high in the sky. Even just noting that there's multiple perspectives available. Your ability to see, even in the darkness, is remarkable as you soar silently through the night. This corresponds with your ability to perceive the truth, even in murky situations in life. So I'd like you to just enjoy soaring around the night sky for a little bit. Observing, enjoying. And then when you're ready, you can come back. And this time I'd like you to land on the ground. And notice that this offers you yet another perspective. And with a nice deep breath in and out, you can shape-shift back into yourself, human. And yet one more nice deep breath and bring yourself back into right here, right now. How was that for you? How was it to have all those different perspectives and to soar around the night sky? Hopefully, it moved you more into that and mindset. Whenever you find yourself locking yourself down into either or, and typically we do that because something is uncomfortable, and if we jam it into an either or, we feel a little more safe. It totally ignores all the other possibilities, but we feel safe if we jam it into either or. Recognize that about ourselves. And do what you can to add in some more ands. It's black or it's white. What about gray? Maybe we just start with gray, considering that, okay, there's gray. Once we move ourselves into an acceptance of that, then we can let, well, yeah, and there's colors. And there's shades of colors. We can mix with white, we can mix with black, and those colors become a whole spectrum. There's rainbow, there's plaid, there's paisley, there's all the things, right? But we don't have to jump all the way into that. Just start with gray. There's an and in here. There's an and. Instead of either or, if you catch yourself doing the either or thing, experiment. Try on the and see how it feels. So with that, I will let you get about your day and sprinkle some ands around your day and see what happens with that. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.